Hey,
Hey man, how's it going? Can you hear me?
can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. Can you hear me? No?
No, I can't hear you.
Huh.
Got no sound.
Can you hear me now? Cannot? You can hear me? Hmm. What about now? No? Let me try. Can you hear me? No?
No, still nothing. Yeah, I don't know. Um, no, I don't think so. You shouldn't be.
Huh.
Are you using your headphones again or not this time?
No. Let me try. Can you hear me? No?
Still nothing. I can try and run it again. Should I get out and back in? Okay.
There we
Oh,
go. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Were you waiting for
I
others?
think yeah, there is.
Hello?
Hey, I can hear you now.
I can hear you.
Now you can't hear me?
Can you hear me, Alexandra?
Yeah, because we can hear you. I guess it doesn't make sense for me to say that out loud.
Can you hear me? You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you guys now.
Oh, you can hear us now?
Yeah.
All right, maybe it just took a second. My internet was being slow earlier, but I don't know what's up with it. I thought it was the computer.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Sorry if I'm a little bit out of it today. Actually, I'm very out of it today. I have been in Utah the past week and I got surgery yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
And so I'm on like pain meds and everything. So I'm just like,
And you're back in school or you're still in Utah?
I'm still in Utah. I come back. My surgery was just yesterday, so I come back, I think, next Wednesday.
Oh,
Where in
I hope
Utah?
I hope you're okay.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm from Lehigh.
From the eye? Okay.
Yeah. Whoops. I just did something.
Okay. So, out of the poems, I really liked the second one. I feel like the first one didn't really discuss like race as much. It like I don't know, I didn't really get into it. It was really short. Oh, maybe
Yeah.
I'm not looking at the full document though.
I don't think there is, because I went to other sites and every single site has the same length. I tried clicking on that link, like read, like see a whole page or something, but that's apparently that's the poem.
Yeah. All right. Because it says full document at the top, but I couldn't tell if that's like click here for the full document or that's it.
Yeah, I went to like 3 other websites and all of them showed the poem as being the same length,
Well, it's pretty
which is
short.
like,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, but like, if no one told me this was a racial inclined poem, I would not be able to say that it was.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be anything.
Yeah. But the second one was very much so. I like the second one as kind of like how I feel like it should like race should be addressed. Like it's there. It's not like you can just look past it altogether, but we're all still people, you know, like kind of treat
Exactly.
like
And
my poem's gonna be like it'll be black because I'm writing it, but it'll be white because you're reading it, and altogether it's
yeah, that's very interesting.
yeah.
And I lived in New York City, so like I know exactly like the streets and areas he's talking about. And that's like a pretty tough neighborhood.
Oh. Dang.
But he kind of went about it like we're still people. Like I'm still writing this paper for you, and we're still in the same situation. And like my race is there; it's going to affect my writing, but it's still a paper. You know, we're all still like it doesn't matter as much, but it's just adds a little bit of color to it, a little bit of flavor. If that
Even
makes
when he says like, yeah, when he says sometimes perhaps you don't want to be part of me, um, nor do I often want to be part of you. That's it's very interesting.
that could be just like not even necessarily color wise. That could be like just because that's the way they grew up.
Correct. It could be just, sometimes you're not into some people. You don't know why, but you guys just don't click.
Yeah. But then the story went about it almost a completely different way. I guess we're not really addressing the questions yet. I just kind of wanted to summarize how the things were.
Yeah.
But the story was like kind of the opposite. It was like kind of these colored girls in their camp. They were taking everything and doing almost the exact same thing that all the white people have done, like racism wise in the past. Like they started throwing out the word Caucasian, like as if it was a joke or an insult, and then at the same time they're like, you can't use the N word, like you can't call us the N word.
It wasn't equal coming from either side.
Yeah.
And then wasn't somebody in the story like handicapped and like so don't really, I guess, like judge somebody by their color or cover.
Yeah, exactly. Like all the girls ended up being handicapped, and so at first it was like these black girls saw themselves as the minority challenging the majority. Like they thought they were just hating on all these white kids that were also camping and stuff. That didn't belong in their eyes. And then they didn't know at the time that they were all handicapped, and it was just.
It was a very interesting twist.
Yeah. As soon as
Makes
they
me think of like M. Night Shyamalan, you know.
Yeah. They're just like, oh shoot.
Yeah. If I were one of those African American girls, I would feel so bad after for like judging them because they don't know any better, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
We just all have to be careful.
And I don't think that the white girls ever even did say anything. Like, pretty sure it was just a rumor that got made up on the black girls' side.
Yeah.
They're just like, something started up, like a rumor started up that said that they called the black girls the N-word.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a little bit of irony in the title, Brownies by ZZ Packer? Like,
yeah, there's a lot of irony there.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Let's look at the questions, I guess.
Oh yeah, true.
I mean, when was the Brownies one written?
I can look really quick. I don't know if it says at the beginning. I don't remember.
Because the English B was 51. Oh, and Harlem was also 51.
This says 1973.
So it came even later than the other ones.
Yeah, it definitely seemed more like a little bit more modern.
Yeah. Because I feel like if it was still in the 50s when it happened, the girls wouldn't even be able to go to camp. But since it was in the 70s, they were able to go something, or maybe something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. That might be
because if
the author was born. This might be saying that.
Yeah, let me actually look for a picture of the author.
Yeah.
Mr. Hughes.
I think it was more 2000, 2003.
Oh.
Yeah, he was an African American individual. And he died in 1967.
Yeah.
And he was from New York City. Oh no, he was born in Joplin, Missouri. And he died in NYC. And it seems like, based on Wikipedia, a lot of his poems are like regarding race. He has I Too, the Negro Speaks of Rivers. So it seems like he had a lot of things to say about inequality.
Is he African American? Or is he white?
He is, yeah. He was African American.
Okay, gotcha.
So the first question is, what does it mean to be black in these poems and in the short story? So the first one is definitely talking about like the hardships that they had to go through. To be black is to suffer all these challenges and stuff.
It's like being left behind and being led to rot, like all these horrible things, essentially.
Yeah. They don't get the same opportunities as others do, so it kind of has to, their ideas and their, like just stay still. They can't progress. They just sit there.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
on the second one, it's essentially the struggles of a young 22-year-old African American man in New York City.
Yeah. I feel like it's a lot more like he doesn't think of it as much of a challenge. He's talking like maybe there's challenges to it, but it shouldn't be making them different necessarily. Like
when he says he wants a pipe for Christmas, does it mean like a smoking pipe?
Hold on, let me look. Where's that at? Oh, right there.
He says, "I like a pipe for a Christmas present." He means like a smoking pipe. He's not referring to a musical instrument, I don't think, right? Or is he?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think like a smoking pipe.
Okay.
But right there, what he's talking about, like right after that, he likes records or like Bessie records, Bop or Bach. He's talking about like black people, like as a generalized people, wouldn't enjoy that as much.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a black person might like that just as much as a white person is what he's trying to say. Like he's not necessarily all that different.
Essentially, his color doesn't change his tastes.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of just goes to say like he's a human being just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a he. Do we know if it's a he?
He says he's a what? A 20. It doesn't. It doesn't give.
I guess maybe it can go. It can be either a woman or a man.
Yeah.
And today's International Women's Day, right? So we should be considerate
Well,
of both.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I felt about this one.
yeah.
What about the story? What does it mean to be black in the story?
There's a little bit of a change in tone versus the first poem, where
Yeah.
in this one it seems like he can still achieve things, he can still do things, he's
Yeah.
still entitled to things, just like white people.
Yeah.
Though it does say something in the end, like, and somewhat more free.
Yeah.
So in the story with the girls, kind of the way it worked out, it's almost as if they were on the vengeance side of things. Like
Mm-hmm.
they assumed because of everything that their parents or grandparents had gone through that they were entitled to almost get back at these poor white girls.
Yeah.
Almost like revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in a way, they kind of like did everything that they hated the white girls for doing, or like the racist white people before for doing. Like I said before, like they were talking about using the word Caucasians as the same as like a white person in the past would have used the N word.
Or like if what is like the N word for white people is like cracker.
Oh yeah, cracker.
So like would you feel offended if someone called you a cracker? I mean, how would you perceive it?
I feel like it's such a thing of the past that I wouldn't really, it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah. Like, kind of, that stuff happened in the past, so I think some people just need to leave it in the past, but even today, people like to bring it up all the time,
Yeah.
especially in the media. It just gets brought up all the time when really we need to just, like, kind of move on, progress.
Even more so recently since the last elections, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that a lot of that stuff really did affect people, but we're working on getting away from it.
Mhm.
Are we succeeding?
I think it depends on where you live. I think some places you don't see, like, it doesn't affect people at all. And other places it still really does.
Like in the South,
Yeah.
the Bible Belt.
Just not necessarily that people accuse other people or they are necessarily still racist so much. I mean, there's still a lot of people, but I feel like a lot of, like, there's still just separation a lot. And this story kind of describes it really well.
It
Mhm.
does.
Another thing I thought about when I was reading the story was just how, like, the girls are so young. It's almost like showing that it's nature for us to not like things that are different, you know? Like,
Yeah.
It it almost seems like those kids in Islamic country that they're taught from a very young age to hate America. It's ingrained in their minds, so it's all they know. It's kind of their nature is who they become through their parents or the teachings of their parents.
yeah,
Mhm.
but I don't think that was so much the case. Maybe a little bit, but like these girls hadn't really been introduced to white people at all. They only had like one kid in their whole school. And like the teacher wasn't like was definitely making sure that they weren't over there. They knew how the teacher was going to feel if they were caught. Talks about at the end too when they get caught about how the teacher's like as soon as their parents know they're all going to get punished. I don't think it's so much their parents as just like almost maybe how racism began in the beginning with just differences and how people felt negatively towards each other for it, just for being different.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we've definitely strayed from the questions again. Um, what is Black experience here?
In each of the poems,
I don't know.
I feel like it kind of it suffers some sort of evolution between the three poems. And the first one is just very gloomy and dark. And the second one, it kind of shows, I don't know, maybe equality or quasi equality. And on the third one is as if the Black girls have like a vantage point. Um,
Yeah, I really like that. That's definitely true. Kind of shows how we've evolved from the one spot to where we are now.
Even though the first two poems were written the same year, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of because in the first spot it's so serious, you know, like the first poem's talking about the challenges that they had to go through. Like those are real challenges. And then the second one, like you're saying, on the path of the evolution to where we're at now, it's kind of like a little more relaxed. And then the third one is like a Girl Scout camp. It's like the epitome of doesn't really matter in the end, you know?
Hmm. And I wasn't born in U.S., but have Girl Scout camps or summer camps been a normal thing for people of color? Or is that a predominantly white kind of activity?
I don't know. That's a hard thing to. I feel like I don't know.
Because I remember like growing up and like seeing those movies, you know, that people go to like a summer camp and then like it's funny and things happen and whatnot. In all those movies, like from the 80s and forward, you see like there's always like a black kid, but it's not equally divided. It's just like usually one, just to say that there was one. So I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I feel like as far as I don't know, girls' camps, I feel like even like I haven't known the girls around where I'm at to have gone to girls' camps, stuff like that. I feel like it's not as common altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just noticed. Has my camera not been working this whole time?
Yeah, we can see you.
Oh.
Well, I thought you were like, because you were had surgery, you're like, oh, I'm not going to show myself today. I was like, okay.
No, I was gonna show you guys my battle scars. Just kidding. But, yeah. All good. Hopefully next time.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Alright.
So the next question, in what ways does society shape what it means to be black? I feel like you kind of already discussed it.
Yeah.
I think so too.
In what ways do these writers respond to that and make a concept of identity for their speakers? In what ways do these writers respond to that and make a concept of identity to their speakers?
Maybe we also kind of discussed this when we talked about how each poem gives a different perspective. So
Yeah.
like the first one, they're like, there's no hope, right? There's no identity. We're just a lower class. And the second one is one of more equality, and the third one is where it shifts around, kind of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think we got that all figured out.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool. It's Gabe's turn, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then next time it's mine.
Okay.
So are you Gabriel or Andy or
Gabriel, but I've been using my dad's email just because I've been using it forever.
oh, so your name is not Angel at all? It's just
No, that's my
Gotcha.
middle name.
Also, it's Gabriel Andriel Kobabe.
Yep.
But where's Kobabe from?
It's like a Prussian name, so like current Germany.
So
It's
it's like Northern European.
yeah, that's what they say.
Gotcha. Cool.
But, yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much, and Michaela, get better.
Thank you. See you guys next week.
You too. Bye.
All right, bye.
See ya.